Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of When the Shift Hits the Fan. And we are the Shifters. My name is Mark Jeffrey, and I'm here with my gorgeous co-host, once again, Linda Lehman. And tonight, we're talking about something that is near and dear to my heart because I just hate it when women do this, and that's all that self-bashing stuff that we do about anything. It's almost like, Linda, tell me about it. Anything is a good excuse, right?
Oh, anything and everything is a good excuse. You know what, Mark? Let's just put all that crap out on the table right now, okay? I'm not good enough. I'm too fat. I'm too old. I don't have the education I need. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I just can't possibly do this. Help me out, Mark.
Oh, let's see. I never did ever have a good relationship. I can't hold on to a man. I can't.
I have freckles.
Oh, I have freckles. You know, but it's anything. I never cook a meal. Like, I didn't do well enough. That's the thing. I didn't do well enough sometimes. It's not I can't. It's, how many times? Women can't take compliments either. Boy, here I am. I'm going all over the place here tonight, driving my car. But they can't, oh, what a lovely dinner. Oh, I just threw it together. No, I slaved all bloody day. Thank you very much for noticing. Like, what's wrong with women? Why do we do this? And I know there's men out there that do the same thing, though. I know. No confidence, stacking up, and same thing at work. That guy over there is better than me. Somebody got promoted. It must have been the wart on my face.
Oh, they can do it, but I just can't. They get all the breaks. They're lucky I'm not.
Yep. Now, so what's going on here? What's going on here, ladies and gentlemen that happen to be jumping over onto this category as well, if you don't, have confidence in yourself. So I think there's two parts to this, so Linda. People who are really feel that way, really feel that they're not good enough. People that are, and then other people who are fishing for a compliment, and other people who are just not trying to bash themselves so much as they're just not confident because someone else somewhere along the line said they weren't good enough.
You got it, Mark. And let's put another category in there. Let me see if I can phrase it correctly. The people who throw that stuff out but then back up and say, oh, I'm just joking.
Oh, they're not joking.
No, they're putting it out there to see what reaction they get because there's that insecurity in there.
Yep. So somebody else says, "Oh no, you look wonderful."
It's like whoosh.
Yeah. Oh no, you did a great job. Yeah. Okay, so you really have to travel back in time to listen to almost every episode that we have done in the last year or so here, telling you you're all that and the bag of chips. But until the day comes where you believe that, wholeheartedly believe that, then you're really going to be suffering this syndrome of bashing. And you know what? Yeah, Linda, it's time. It's done. That just is so demeaning and so disheartening. It's just bad all over the place.
It is. So you know what, Mark? Let's clear it up. I'm awesome.
I'm beautiful.
I am gorgeous.
I'm so bloody smart. I amaze myself.
I am the best of the best at everything I do.
When I get up in the morning, everything goes my way.
I love myself.
I make money like it was falling out of the trees.
I make all the money that I choose to do because I have this immense power within me.
I attract only the best things to my life.
My perfect clients find me.
I am so powerful, I could almost burst.
Is this not fun?
And guess what? I am.
I am.
Linda is. Okay? Because we believe it. I don't need, Linda doesn't have to tell me that, although we talk to each other like that. I talk to all my girlfriends like that because I believe that. And they believe that. See, I attract those women to my life, the ones that are, oh, I can't do that or that. They just kind of fall by the wayside along the way. I don't have time. I hang with these people. And if you hang with those people and you put on your smiley face and maybe you don't believe it all yet that you're beautiful and gorgeous and have all the power and you're smart and have awesome relationships, maybe you don't believe all of it yet, but if you hang with the right people and you put your smile on your face and you kind of square your shoulders up and hang right in that group, pretty soon you're going to be feeling that way too. Because, Linda, how could you help it? I mean, how can people help it when you're hanging with people like that? It's just simply got to rub off on you.
Well, it not only rubs off on you, but if you really want to dig into the science of it, you're absorbing it. Because everything around us is energy, and we put off this massive amount of energy. And so when we're around people who are very positive and they have confidence and they believe in themselves, all we have to do is be around them, and this energy that's emitting from them is like pinging us, kind of like a mosquito on a night or on a light outside. It's bing, 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 bing. It's hitting us, and we have no choice to absorb it. And so that's why, when we're around people who are real positive and upbeat, all of a sudden we look around ourselves and we're feeling pretty darn good too.
Yep. It happens that way. And it's funny. I just have to bring this back because I remember the night that we were in Peru and we had the dinner. And, of course, we snuck over and we got wine at our table. And it was kind of like, if you weren't, it was the place we were at just kind of echoed, which we didn't know. But we started laughing and just having a great time at our table. And interestingly enough, everyone started gravitating towards that table, because even though they were having a great time where they were, and I mean, we were with the most amazing people in the world, someone was lighting up the room. And it's like a light, and that's exactly what you want to go towards it. So if you just feel that a little bit and just shine your little light out there, I mean, there's that little sun, that little light of shine, what is that? This little light of mine, let it shine, let it shine. The Girl Guides or something, right? Or brownies or something. I can't remember. When I was little, I learned that. Or was it? I don't know where it came from. Maybe it was. Anyways, this little light of mine, let it shine, let it shine. And, anyways, I always have, because I have value for me. And you know what? Sometimes, and people who know me know this, I don't do everything right.
Now, Mark, there you go again.
There's a little secret for you folks.
Maybe we'll rephrase that to say we may not do things perfectly, but we get it done and we enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't care. It's all the fun of my life. I've fallen up the stairs, and I've laughed so hard I've almost peed my pants. And I wrote it on Facebook because I thought it was pretty funny. And that's who I am internally and externally. I can make fun of myself, and I'm fun. I mean, it's not where I'm very, I guess I'm not embarrassed by much.
Well, I think that you also realize that these little trips and bumps are just part of the journey and part of the path, and you know, we have to live in the moment. And if you really look at you know, sometimes we do things and people will go, oh man, if that happened to me, I'd just be devastated. I would want to dig a hole and just hide myself. But you and I look at it and we shrug it off and we go, oh, that was funny. I bet I couldn't do that again in a million years. But we learned a lesson, and we think, oh, you know, this is interesting. We're in the moment enough to know that, wow, you know, this is really interesting. And half the time when we do, I mean, I don't know about you, Mark, but it seems like when I mess up like that or I fall flat on my face in public, somebody's always watching.
Oh, but of course.
And I know that I've put a smile on their face if I'll just laugh about it too. And maybe I made their day because maybe they were having a bad day and this funny thing happened in front of them that could probably never be repeated, and we're laughing about it, and next thing you know, we're chatting about it, and okay, I've made a new friend now.
It is, you know, and it's a frame of mind that, and I think that, and it wasn't just because of cancer, because I've always felt this way. I've always felt that my life is very, very precious. I always worried, though, that I was going to miss something. I always, even from little, I had a hard time sleeping at night because I liked everything about the world, you know, and the sun goes down and the different sounds, and I didn't want to miss a single second of it. And used to drive my mother crazy because I was just so contrary to everything, you know, and I wasn't someone who's, and many times now even, will stay up all night if I'm really interested in a project or it's a beautiful night out and I don't want to miss it and the stars I can see forever. I'll stay up all night. I'll lay out on my hammock on the deck and just listen to the night happening around me and think to myself, what a wonderful world it is.
Cue the music. No, but you're right. I mean, it's hard to pick different words when some words are just perfect. And it is a wonderful world.
It is, and I'll never, ever give my, I don't know who, okay, let me ask you this, so Linda, we'll get back to, we'll be very serious about this. If I'm bashing myself, how do I win? How does that serve me? Where does that go?
It doesn't. It doesn't serve you. You may think, well, if I bash myself enough, somebody will come to my rescue. But the deal is, when you're bashing yourself, I mean, you're sending this message to the greater part of yourself, really, your subconscious mind, which is your power center. This is your communication out to the world that this is what you want more of in your life. So whether it's words or whether it's thinking, when you're bashing yourself, you're sending this message out into the universe that you want more things to bash yourself about. It's a downward spiral cycle that will not stop unless you stop it and realize what a marvelous and magnificent creation you really are.
Yeah, and I know where it can come from, and just relating this and thing with my thyroid and, you know, ballooning up to, you know, weight, and it's like I go to sleep at one weight, wake up in the morning 40 pounds heavier. And that's not really much of an exaggeration. Very frustrating for me. And because I've always looked after myself, and for most of my life I was an athlete, and cancer kind of took me down a notch on that one, and I thought, okay, now you got to start doing stuff, and then I stopped doing really dangerous sports because through the process I ended up losing a kidney, so I'm kind of going, okay, now you only have one, which is actually kind of funny because you only have one heart too, right? One brain. Like, why would I worry about one kidney? But there I did. But here, you know, the thing is it really frustrated me at first because I'm going, I said this to myself, what am I doing wrong? Like, what am I doing that's making this happen to me? And I do have an excellent doctor because I kind of stomped in there and said, okay, what am I doing? Here's what I ate. Here's what I drank. Here's when I slept. This is what I did. What am I doing? And she goes, yeah, why would you even think it was you? Like, are you an idiot? Did you lose your brain on your way here? And it made me just stop in my tracks going, yeah, that was kind of like a dumb thing to be doing. So, change of attitude still frustrates me because I have no control over it. And everyone knows that, I'm not a control freak at all. And I just have to ride that wave. So it's taught me, to be like, I always, and I get the feeling because then I'm sitting there going, well, people are going to think if I have that pumpkin pie, they're going to think, she wouldn't be that fat if she'd stop eating the pumpkin pie. And it kind of gave me another perspective on people that might be carrying weight, that it may not be within their control. Because I eat really well. In fact, my nutritionist is going like, I can't change this. Like, it is what it is, and we're all going to have to live with it. Because, you're not a rabbit, and even if you ate lettuce, this would not change, right? So that gave me a different perspective on a lot of things about what I can't change and what I am going to have to come to terms with, that you might be the lady in the muumuu, and you better start liking the frickin' muumuus.
Yeah, but your beautiful being can shine through anything. But you brought up a good point. And you and I both see this a lot of times in relationships, when a relationship doesn't work out. And what is the first thing that we hear people ask?
What did I do?
What did I do? What did I do wrong? People, why don't you focus on what did I do right? You may have done everything right. It doesn't necessarily have to be about you.
But I think relationships, that's hard. Because it's two people. Like, if you think about this, people have a hard time even looking after themselves, right? We're just talking about that tonight, right? That you're just not even looking after your own well-being. And now you throw somebody totally, it probably wasn't raised the same way you were and all that stuff into the mix. And then it doesn't work out. Well, I think people beat themselves up way too much about relationships that don't work, because that's hard.
It is hard, and you know what? In a relationship, the only person that you can be responsible for is yourself. And I know that's very harsh words to hear, but you cannot change anybody else. If they are going to change anything about themselves, they have to do it. There's nothing that you can do about it. They have to be the ones to change. So you really are responsible for what you bring to the relationship and nothing and nobody else. And so if you're in a relationship and somebody is just really, messing up, being destructive either toward you or toward themselves or society in general, it's not you. And you can't step in and change them. They have to want to change themselves. So you have to just continue to love yourself and love the being that you are. For some reason, you two came together, whether it was just for you to see the type of person that you didn't want to hang around with, or maybe deep down, years from now, you'll find that you were the guiding light to that person to get some help.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they had to pick the time that they were open to receiving the help.
Yeah, that's such a complex issue, and a lot of bashing goes on with regard to that for sure. And again, most guys walk away going, "It's your fault." Walks away. Mm-hmm. They're good. I mean, guys are cool. I like it, because like we talked about this before, they go out on the beach and they're all hanging out everywhere in their Speedos, and they're having the time of their life, where some woman's covered all up from her nose to her toes because she has a little bit of cellulite. Like we all do, most of us. Yeah. Like we're not perfect beings, and because Linda and I coach entrepreneurs, oh my word, we could go on for another hour and a half minimum on entrepreneurs being, well, my ads didn't work. Oh, the picture, oh my word.
Mark, how many times did I change my new Facebook page picture this weekend while we were on the phone together?
A couple.
Okay, I'll confess. Even after this weekend, I changed it a couple more times. 7. 7.
Yep.
But you know what? Each one led to a better one, led to a better one, led to a better one.
Well, and that's the inspiration of it all. I mean, and we're actually working on another project here that we're talking about, and I started something, and then it just kind of sprouted wings from there, and it was just something that I had to get other people involved because I got so excited about it, and it was interesting because I really didn't care if anybody jumped in. But it was interesting because it was something that lit everybody's fire as soon as I said, hey, look at this. This is so cool. And that brings us back to this. I could have sat there doubting myself and thinking, well, maybe I should test this out for another week or two. Maybe I should really, because, I mean, it happened in a heartbeat, right? It was over the weekend. I was just playing around going, really? And then quickly told Linda, and then quickly got our other parts of our team members involved, and didn't even think twice about it. But I could have doubted myself. I could have felt insecure, but I don't do that. I just jump, and I know I'll grow my wings on the way down. I know it.
Mhm.
God, I wish everybody could live their lives like that.
I do too.
So much
I mean, it's
fun.
so exciting. It is.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's exciting, and we get to meet so many interesting people and do so many phenomenal things, and we get to. I mean, we talk all the time, Mark, about celebrating the wins. You know, we're sitting here on the phone over the weekend doing a new banner for a Facebook page, and what are we both doing? Whoop 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 whoop.
Mm-hmm.
We're celebrating these little wins that 2 months from now, most people wouldn't even think twice about. Probably even the day after, most people wouldn't have thought anything else about. I mean, it would have been very easy for me to just get so frustrated while we were on the phone and say, well, Mark, this is so stupid. I can't even do this. This is not my thing, so just forget it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been easy. It's been easy. But no, 4 hours later on the phone, we got it.
It really wasn't 4 hours. But I did have 3 cups of coffee hot. No.
Yeah, I know. I know we're making.
But you know what? But that's the other part of this too. Is I think buddy up. Buddy up. No matter what you're doing, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to get through a course, if you're trying a new project, whatever it is, buddy up with somebody that can, check and balance you, keep you in the game, ask you how you're doing, be accountable too. We talked about this on past episodes. I mean, buddy up. I mean, I think that's a great idea, Linda.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. We've both taken on some additional projects, and man, thank you for helping me through some of those weeks and helping me readjust my attitude when I allowed all of this stuff that was going on to just totally consume me. And here you were, making jokes and pulling me out, or you kind of experienced the same thing, and then we both caught ourselves and laughed about it. So instead of getting into what they call the Ain't It Awful Club, we started building each other back up again. It was so amazing.
Yep. It is, and there are some days that you can't make it through on your own. There are days, and that's when you need to be able to have somebody that you totally trust with everything. And I know that that's really hard. I mean, that's a whole other show, trusting other people.
Ooh.
But, yeah, coming up, folks. It'll come up. We'll bring it up. But trusting someone with all that you are, and I know everybody has one of them, that you know that no matter, all the makeup of your life off, okay? I'm not talking about physical, but all the makeup of your life off, and they still love you to the bottom of it all. And when, no matter what comes up, you know that that person's going to be, some people are lucky to have that in relationships, and others are lucky to have it in friends. Some are even lucky to have it in family. But there's always, I just know, for every person out there that's sitting there listening to us tonight, if you feel that you're alone, express that, because someone will raise their hand.
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
Absolutely, Mark. I know that too. We are not alone, and we're not intended to be alone. We're intended to help each other, always. And that inspires both the helper and the helpee. Are those words?
Yep, tonight they are.
Yeah, they're my words.
I make them up all the time. Sometimes I even write them down and send them in letters.
It works. Spell check just needs to catch up.
Exactly. Do you want to add that? Of course I do.
Of course. It's a word.
It exemplifies my meaning entirely. So, folks, here we are. And I hope you got the vibe of this show. It's light, and it's true, and it's heartfelt. We want you to feel better about yourselves, because there's no reason in the world to not. And you know what? The world in itself will throw enough arrows at you. Y'all don't need to be doing it to yourself. That's what I have to say tonight, Linda, for sure.
Absolutely, Mark. And I'll go back to the beginning of the show for anybody who is feeling a little bit low. If they want to go back and listen to the beginning of the show and listen to our bashing, and you know what? Maybe our listeners want to pick that up. I encourage all of our listeners to carve off just a few minutes, and this is your permission to totally get it out of your system. Bash away. Bash, bash, bash. Think of absolutely everything you could possibly think of to bash yourself about. And then throw it away. Let it go. If you have to write it down.
Hey, Linda, I think they should do that physically. I think they should write it down, crumple it into a ball, and seriously throw it in the garbage.
Throw it in the garbage. Set it on fire, not your house.
Yeah, set it on fire.
Set it on fire. Burn it up. Let it go. And then I want you to spend twice as much time looking at that person in the mirror, eye to eye, and start telling that person deep down in that soul how much you love them and all of the great qualities that that person has, that soul, that being. You're beautiful. You are amazing. You are phenomenal. Everything you touch turns to gold. I can go on and on. I want you to say those words in the mirror. And then, you know what? Get your iPhone out and record the session. And that way you can play it back to yourself over and over and over again.
Mhm. And I always say this to people, that when I'm coaching them, is get some really, really good pictures of yourself when you're feeling really good about yourself. You know that, like, everybody has those pictures, that big laugh that you had at that birthday party, or that coy little look when you were smelling the roses, or making the jam, and when you're all full of flour, and take those pictures and make a scrapbook of the beautiful life I have. And then really seriously, from the bottom of your heart, from last week to this week, be grateful for that.
Beautiful, Mark.
Because I know I'm grateful, and I think being grateful for all things makes, except for the guy that jacked my credit card. Okay, I'm not going to go there.
Send him love, Mark.
Yeah, I'll be sending them love. Okay, guys, well, we are down at the end of our half an hour. Linda, you got any last words you want to leave them with?
You know what? I just want to tell every listener on here that we love you. And since we love you, I want you to love yourself.
Yeah, and we appreciate you, and thank you so very much for spending this half an hour with us every Monday night. We truly do appreciate it. So from Mark here in Canada, my friends, good night.
And from Linda down here in Florida, good night.